Hello guys, welcome to another reading. This is Lunar Goddess Tarot. I'm Sarah and I'll be your intuitive guide and your reader for today. So if you're new, welcome in. Please do have a look around, see what I have to offer, check out the website, perhaps sign up for my Patreon. I'm gonna be uploading a few more Patreon videos next week, as well as we are going to be releasing our first of 3 workbooks, and this will be the Twin Flame Journey workbook. We will also be releasing a Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine workbooks. You can purchase them one at a time, or you can purchase them together to receive discounts. However, the first one will be publishing to the website will be the Twin Flame Journey workbook, as we feel like that's the most important one. So do look out for that in the next few weeks. And we also wanted to let you know that we are going to be, we're not sure, but it will be this summer, we are going to be launching a very new program. It is the Ascension Journey program. So this is for star seeds, light workers, divine feminine, divine masculine, people in twin flame connections, soulmate connections, higher level, kindred spirit connections, anybody going through the Ascension Journey. Anybody who has questions or needs guidance as to what they're experiencing and how to best navigate through this. We're very excited about this program. There will be a focus primarily on self and a focus on your journey as a sovereign individual. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. We'll have more information on the website shortly. And we are thinking that will launch in mid to late July. Could be early July, but mid to late July is what we're looking at right now. And we will have more information. And if you have questions, please do reach out and let us know. Also, if you'd like to work with us individually, if you'd like coaching or guidance, I do offer my North Node readings. And what I'll do is after the video, go over to the, I just blanked out, thanks Mercury retrograde. Go over to the community tab, which is on my YouTube channel here, and I'll post, for those of you new, like what is a North Node reading. It's an astrological and a card reading, and it's a live 75-minute reading with me. It's very comprehensive and thorough. I'm super thrilled to be offering them again. It's one of my most favorite readings to do, and it's all about you and your soul's journey and your destined path to your highest possible potential. So you can get more information about that by emailing me, and I will leave my email below. And I do have spots available actually for next week. And I think that's it for the moment. So what I'd like to do for today's reading, we are going to look into messages from the masculine. This is not something that I've done for a couple weeks, perhaps even longer, because I was not guided to look into their energy. I was actually guided to take a step back. But I'm feeling guided post lunar and solar eclipses here to step into what I'm calling the softening of the divine masculine, which is also softening the feminine. The more the feminine softens, the more the masculine steps forward. A lot of feminines were in this energy where we were protecting our energy, protecting our time, protecting our space, and we were not able to forgive the things that had transpired between us and the counterpart. And this did keep the counterpart at bay. It did definitely keep them in their lane, in their corner. And they learned lessons, a lot of them with karmic partners during this time. And for a lot of you, there was a reunion that happened when when Mars and Venus met up in the sign of Leo, which is very passionate, a love affair that happened in the celestial heavens last July. And then you had a reunion that was probably very passionate, then led to an explosion because it is in the fiery sign of Leo, and then another ultimate separation. So many of you will be coming out of that separation now or sometime this summer, likely. Please do remember this is a collective reading, so I'm not reading for you individually. And also, please don't attach to timelines. Please don't attach really to anything I'm saying or anything any other reader or anybody says, except for your own inner guidance. Okay, I don't really read for timelines, but I am getting a pretty clear indication that the summer is going to be very important for these connections. The feminine continues to reach her abundance. Feminine continues to create herself in the material physical world. And the masculine continues to heal, and he continues on his spiritual quest for truth. And starting with self, what is my truth? What is my truth? Who am I? What am I doing here? So you guys you really should give yourselves a pat on the back, divine feminine, divine masculine, because you've come a long way since a year ago. Like, what a difference a year makes. And the divine masculine is absolutely feeling the intensity of this connection again. And as I stated in my previous few readings, they are going to be reaching out to apologize. So you can look forward to an apology from your counterpart. However, I don't want you to attach that apology thinking it's full union. For a lot of the masculines, this will be kind of an in and out, coming in to apologize and then going back out again and doing more healing. Okay, so it's an apology that's necessary to move things forward, and it is going to open the door, and it is going to help open the heart of the divine feminine to her divine masculine or his divine masculine. But don't expect much. Do not have expectations. Do not attach. Simply be thankful and grateful for what it is that you've received, and then move forward and just continue moving forward. I do think that this will lead the way to more regular communication for those of you who have been in long-term separations with your counterpart. We're going to start to see a lot of those long-term separations come to an end for good. Especially those of you that have endured a few, like multiple long-term separations, you're going to be experiencing a significant change. Interesting. Yeah, there's a Kundalini activation currently taking place right now. There's an introspective, very peaceful energy coming through here, and we are dealing with karma, so we are continuing to wrap up those karmic cycles here within our connections. Okay, so... Oh, and I just got a really, really sharp muscle pull through my heart that just went up all the way through the side of my neck on the left side. I think it is also connected to one of the lower ribs. So absolutely, wow. I've never quite felt anything like that before. And it was just a subtle move. So do expect there to be heart chakra activations. Like that's what it will feel like. It can feel like palpitations as well, but do expect to feel kind of those sharp pulls and those sharp sensations that can be rather scary. I think they had me experience that while I'm on video so that people can understand. However, it also feels like a release. It was like painful and sharp for maybe 0.5 seconds, and then it felt like a significant release. So something that we've been holding on to, we're releasing. I do think this is opening the door to forgiveness on many, many, many levels here, guys. So we do know that karma is going to start play out to the benefit of the divine feminine, okay? The Kundalini activation, which is occurring right now, this beautiful serpentine energy that's traveling through, the counterparts traveling through the collective and opening up people's energy centers to be able to accept to be able to ascend, to be able to accept the next level of consciousness. This also, though, to me indicates that the counterparts are indeed merging. The counterparts are merging energetically. And I'm speaking specifically to first wavers at this time because second wavers are still getting on board with this process, but first wavers have ascended to a level that this will allow you to be telepathically connecting to your counterpart and energetically feeling them very strongly. I have to tell you a story. So it was raining and storming here today. It was a dark and stormy night, dark and stormy morning. So I went out to do my errands early, like 9 a.m. And I'm in the local organic grocery center here. And all of a sudden I hear someone say, "Hi, Sarah." Hi, my counterpart's name. And I was like, what? And it was in my lane directly. I mean, this is a small store. She was directly in front of me and she's waving to apparently Sarah and I'm not going to say my counterpart's name, but his name. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And then I saw his name like twice in a post. It was the craziest thing. So just when you think the signs have stopped and you're like, oh, I'm not experiencing them, I'm not feeling them telepathically, they will start again. That's the nature of this journey. I'm also hearing the need to breathe, pranayama, okay, a yogic term, connecting you to your breath, connecting you to the vastness of this experience of being human. So breath work can be very powerful. Those of you who have had North Node readings with me, by the way, guys, a North Node reading is so much more than just an astrological reading. It's an astrological comprehensive reading. It is a card reading as well as a coaching session and a healing session. So it's really a 4-in-1. It's, like I said, my most comprehensive, most favorite reading that I've ever offered. And what I love about it is you can get an astrology reading, but most astrologers, in fact, almost every astrology reading I've done, nobody's ever mentioned the North Node, or they just kind of say, oh yeah, North Node. But it has to do with our karma. The North Node and South Node are karmic points in astrology, and they're points of soul magnetism. So they're very powerful points. South Node speaks about past lifetimes and where we've been, the karma that we're currently working through or that we've carried into this lifetime, the karmic debt that we can now dissolve through making different decisions and different choices, as well as our gifts that we carry into this lifetime. And then the North Node is the path of your highest potential, but there's often a lot of resistance. That's why I offer these readings, to help you understand how to move through this resistance and why this is your path, even if you're like, this doesn't sound like me. Exactly, that's your North Node, because you're used to being in the energy of your South Node. So it's just a wonderful offering, and I would love to work with you. I would love to read for you and assist you and provide guidance. And that's the best way that I can provide guidance at this time. And oh, and if you are interested in the North Node reading or working with Holly and I would recommend you to go ahead and book, because I will be taking some time off. I will be going out of town June 8th through the 14th. So I will not be booking any sessions during that time. So, okay, we have Brahma here, who's the god of creation. And Brahma is here to let you know that you are an incredible creator. You're here to create. You're a powerful manifester. You carry vital life force energy, and you carry all the keys to the cosmic consciousness within you. There's no need to seek anything outside of you. And as you can see, he has a universe inside of him. There's no need to seek elsewhere. Brahma is connected, as you can see. He's got 4 arms here. And he's got universes and planets just sort of orbiting him. You are your own solar system. There is no need, there is no other. And this is what is being taught here. This is what is being understood here as well. So where is it that you haven't taken action, that you've had an idea but you haven't taken action? Because this is where the abundance comes in for the feminine. Where is it that you may have been sitting on gold, is what I'm hearing. Plant that seed into the earth, water it with your intentions, and watch it sprout and watch it come to life. There is a cycle that you're moving through from lack of action because the astrological universe didn't support it, and we needed to take a step back, and we needed to rest. And now we're being asked to spring into action for these summer months. When you create, you connect to your cosmic life force energy. You create abundance. Okay, so lastly here from this beautiful deck, it's become my most favorite deck. We are looking at samadhi. So in yoga, there are 8 limbs that are taught, that we discuss. And this is one of the limbs. It's an advanced state of meditation that one can find oneself in. And what I love is that, Brahma is supporting this creation. He's supporting this inner universe, this connection to the inner universe, this absorption in the self. But it's not selfish. It's actually selfless, because the more you feed yourself and the more you understand yourself, the more you have to offer others. This is about the union of body, mind, soul, and spirit. And even though we exist in a macrocosm, we are a microcosm of that macrocosm. So we are this infinite piece of the whole. There is no beginning, there is no end. Samadhi is the merging of all levels of self. And it's the deepest level of awareness. It's connected to bliss. So you often hear meditators mention samadhi. This is the state of bliss that you can experience. You can experience this meditating, practicing mindfulness. You can experience this when you're connected to nature, to your pets or to animals, to your soul's mission, to doing something that you love, when you're helping others, when you're being of service, when you're experiencing inner joy that's coming from the inside, not from something externally, like buying a new car, right? Or, in some way, something that's, oh, so-and-so said something, so now I feel complete and whole. No, it's like when you can give to yourself wholly and fully, that's when you are most yourself. So there's a lot of movement right now in these connections, and we're moving from a place of unforgiveness to a softening. It's a softening of the divine masculine, but it's also a softening of the feminine. And you're going to be seeing this in your facial features. You're going to be seeing this in your body, the way in which you stand, the way in which you move. There's a divine feminine essence flowing through the collective right now. So the masculines are tapping into their emotions in a way that they haven't done maybe since you first met them. It's not even like a Six of Cups energy that they were in for so long. It's not even a nostalgia. This is I'm getting ready. I'm preparing to take action to move forward, because they're ready to dissolve the karma that was created the last time you connected in the physical. And this Kundalini energy, it's calling to them. So they're feeling you again energetically. Whereas before they were able to turn it off to a certain degree. They're now connecting deeper. I do see that a lot of the masculines are connecting to yoga. They're connecting to some sort of mindful movement, mindful movements throughout their day, mindful moments where they're taking pauses and they're reflecting rather than going and driving themselves into the ground. Oops. Well, we had a little mishap there. So we're just going to get right back to the video here. So the phone actually fell. What I wanted to do is I've pulled only the major arcana cards from this tarot deck, from the Starseed Tarot. And what I'd like to do is I would like to ask for a major arcana card for the major theme that's coming up right now, the main theme coming up for the feminine and the masculine. The main theme coming up for the feminine is... The main theme coming up for the feminine. Some of you may be experiencing a tower moment. So, you know what I think about the tower moment? I feel like it's an opportunity to become aware of what isn't working and to surrender, to allow the tower to fall, the karmic tower to fall, and also to allow the past to die so that new things can come forward. And it's not always the most pleasant experience, but nobody said that this journey or being human was going to be pleasant, right? Nobody said that. Nobody promised that. So I do feel like there's something that is coming to an end here with this eclipse season. Nothing to be feared, guys. This, I feel, has a definite metaphysical feel to it, but also in the physical world, you're going to be feeling this as well. Endings and beginnings. And I do feel like... the tower, it's two cards that people fear in the tarot deck. The tower, the tower, the devil, and then also the, I just completely forgot. God, I hate, brain fog is real right now. The tower, the devil, and the death card. 3 cards that people fear out of the 21 major arcana cards. But you have to remember, guys, that after the tower card comes the sun. After this moment of collapse, the collapsing of the foundation, the ego death, the dark night, we have the star card. So the star card is illuminating the path. And, the star card in this deck is, to me, it's about remembering your origins, remembering where you came from, remembering that you're a spiritual being on this human quest or human journey. It's remembering the beauty and the hope. Hope is very big right now on the planet. Remembering the hope, the optimism, the abundance that surrounds you. So nothing to be feared, divine feminine. Accept it, embrace it, surrender, and it'll be moving very smoothly from here on out. What you don't want to do is reject it. What you don't want to do is, because you'll prolong the experience, what you don't want to do is resist it. Oh, interesting. And the masculine's moving through, the shadow. Interesting major arcana energies, guys. So interesting. Give me a second. I'm trying to remember, because this deck is a little different. So I'm trying to remember the devil. So interesting. We've got the devil card, which then after the devil card comes the tower card. So it's interesting. The masculine's only one step behind you, guys. So we've got the devil energy. So there's an integration of the shadow right now for the divine masculine, which is exactly where we want them to be. Integrating the shadow, doing the shadow work, facing oneself, facing what one has done, facing actions and choices one has made in previous lifetimes, especially when it comes to you know, what they've allowed in terms of what they've tolerated in their life, the treatment they've tolerated, especially in the relationships they've created, and how they have put other people before this connection, and realizing, you know, the error of their ways, realizing where it is that they've turned away from themselves and turned towards the expectations of others or the belief systems of others. So if other people said this is an impossible connection or relationship, you shouldn't even pursue it, they might have just gone ahead and gotten into a karmic relationship. And now comes a time where they're starting to face that shadow and say, wait a second, this isn't really me, this isn't what I want. And I've lived someone else's life, and I don't want to do that anymore. I want to continue to pursue my highest possible potential, and I want to do what I want to do, and I want to choose this person. So yes, they've had regrets in the past, but I don't feel like they're currently experiencing regret. I feel like what they're experiencing right now is optimism and hope. But again, these are some heavier energies. So I think this is because we're coming out of eclipse season. Actually, I know it is. So yeah, we've got the devil, and then the very next card is the tower. So after they do this shadow work and integration, they're going to move into the tower, but then they move into the star. They move into hope and optimism and renewal. And that's where you're headed next. So they're literally one step behind, guys. This is not a big deal. We want to, you know, commend them for the work that they've done here, especially over the past year or so, since we had that Mars-Venus meetup and mashup in the sign of Leo, and we had those reunions, and then we had those separations ensue. We want to give them a lot of credit where credit is due, because they've really been doing their shadow work, and they're really, really deep into that energy now. Yeah, they're transforming. This is not the first time I've seen this card. In the past several readings, they're transforming. They're going through a major transformation of self, transformation of the lower self, connecting to the higher self. There was a separation of sorts where they were able to separate their emotions from their 3D life. They were able to separate the connection from their 3D life. They're no longer able to do that. Separation is no longer an option on this planet, for the collective, for the divine masculine, for the divine feminine. So where it is that you felt separate from this connection, separate from God, separate from others, you're going to be seeing, you know, all that's the shadow work, and all of those things will be revealed, and you will start to see the true self. So this transformation, look, I mean, this is very much a web in both of these cards. It's so interesting that two different decks will display the same exact meaning, the same exact energy. So I'm actually going to put these together here because I find that very significant. The energy of 33 coming through as well for those of you who are into numerology. But yeah, it's like finding the way through the web and knowing that this is a web that they've woven for themselves to keep themselves encased, to keep themselves quote unquote protected, which has really not protected them at all. It's really thrown them into chaos. It's thrown them into self-betrayal. But now they're starting to come out of that and reach the other side again with hope on the horizon. So what do we have for the divine feminine, please? What do we have for the divine feminine? Patience. And I know you hate that card, but Here it is, the Patience card and the Shine card, reminding you that you are a luminous being of light, reminding you of your own light, reminding you that you are the sun, reminding you that there is no other. There is no other. As long as you think there's another, you will remain in separation physically. I promise you this. As long as you see your twin, they're doing this over here, they're doing that over there, they this, they that, you are going to remain in separation. When you start to see that this is your soul in another body, and you accept the connection and you accept the journey, guess what? It transforms. So those of you who have been able to accept the connection, accept the journey, accept the mission, the soul mission, and accept that you are one soul in two bodies, the transformation is taking place on a very deep level, and the universe is co-creating, co-conspiring with you. So let's get into those divine masculine messages that I promised you. Let's get into these. Let's get into it. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay. Divine masculine messages for her divine feminine. I'm afraid to open my heart. I'm clearing up karma. Yep, we know that. We saw the card. Don't you love it when the cards confirm each other? I'm clearing up karma. Karma. Right, clearing up karma, which means it means that they are making sure that the door is going to be fully open. What they don't want to do is come back to the divine feminine and offer her like, oh, well, I can give you half of my time, half of my energy. You can have a quarter of my space in my house or apartment. No, the divine feminine is, demanding all of the divine masculine. I want all of you. I want you in your wholeness and fullness. I don't want you part-time. That's not an option. I am not an option. So the divine feminine has said, I am not an option. Okay. That card wanted to come out. I am trying to understand, right? So as they're clearing up karma, and again, I'm just thinking that's why I have that massive heart chakra movement there is they are opening their heart, and it can feel like it's cracking open. It can feel physically painful, guys. I don't want this to be over. That's a pretty clear message that is coming up. I don't want this to be over. I want to return to you. I'm having fantasies about you. So the passion is returning for the divine masculine. It's returning in a sense where, I don't know, at the beginning of the connection, especially for the first waivers, you felt that passion. You could literally feel them. You could have, astral sex and astral intimacy. And it's like, then that sort of disappeared. And then you went into a period of separation and a period of like, I don't even want to think about this person. So you're not feeling that. You're not open to that. You've shut that out. But you're starting to open up to that again. So they're feeling that, and they're having these sexual fantasies, these sensual fantasies. And a lot of it is more sensual than sexual this time around. So it's more of, I want to have deeper conversations with you. I want to connect with you sober. I want to be the person that you can go to when you're having a hard day. I want you to feel like you can trust me. And I want you to feel like it's safe to open up to me. And I want to be able to do the same with you. And they're saying, there's some confusion for them still. This connection confuses me. I'm not sure what to do, but don't worry. They're transforming that. They're working through the shadow aspect of self. So that's going to die. That's going to dissipate. I know you are my person. I'm working on myself. That's a fuck yeah. I'm working on myself. And two more here. I was in denial. Yeah, so that's a huge ego death there. I was in denial and I was avoiding my feelings. It just seemed easier. However, what they found is that it was not easier not having you in their life. In fact, it was tremendously difficult for them to be on the receiving end of the feminine silence and of the feminine shutting them out. The feminine moving forward with her life because they could feel you moving forward, and they knew there was nothing they could do because they weren't prepared to take action yet, and they weren't in a space where they felt like they could offer you anything or give you what you deserved, and therefore they stayed away because they told themselves, she's better off without me, he's better off without me. That was just like a bullshit. That was just something they told themselves because it was easier to do that than to actually delve into the inner work. So here we are in this new space, and it feels very expansive, and it's opening up both twins to the possibilities of reconnection, to the possibility of forgiveness, to the possibility of an apology from the divine masculine to the divine feminine. It's opening the hearts of both counterparts, which is going to help open up the hearts of the world, the heart of the world, the dissolution of karma, the reconnection of the kundalini, right? That twisting that we talk about in our group coaching programs or in our individual coaching. If you're wondering, like, what is that? That will also be in the Twin Flame workbook that will be releasing for sale on the website early to mid-June. And, you know, the masculine moving through the devil energy, but it's different than before because he has more of a grasp on self and more of a grasp on his addictions. He's healing, he's getting sober or is sober from those addictions. And the feminine moving through the tower, moving to both of you, moving through to the star energy, hope and renewal on the horizon. So if you felt like giving up, or if you did totally give up, you're in the best place possible, because from there, anything is possible. From there, we move into renewal of hope. And that's where we're headed in these connections. So I hope this reading was beneficial. I hope this helped to clear things up for you, provide guidance, provide hope and support at this time as we move through eclipse season 2022. And I'm very excited to be able to offer you these readings and the Patreon posts. I'm thankful for all of my moderators, to anyone who's ever contributed in any way to the channel. For anyone who has purchased any items off of my Amazon wish list for myself, my home, or my kitties, I'm so ever grateful. And for all of you showing up and doing the work on this journey, because it takes a village, guys, to get through this journey. We are doing this together. We are in the rowboats rowing towards the destination. There isn't a destination, by the way, it's a journey, but you get my drift. We are doing this together as a team, and we need one another. So thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here, for choosing this journey with me. I commend you, I honor you, I respect you, and I love you. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take good care.